Hey, the Lone Top 10s here. Reports of octopus attacks was prevalent in the past, when people believed that the octopus was a gross and evil creature of the sea. They often called it the devilfish because of the way it looks. They had no idea just how intriguing and intelligent the octopus really is. So here are the 10 crazy old reports of octopus attacks. Anyway, so for this, I do want to say it does contain some scary imagery that you could possibly think of in your mind. So anyway, just want to give you a little warning. Alright, anyway, number 10, we're going to start off with Mr. Inkster. Now, Mr. Inkster, it is almost ironic that a diver named Inkster would be attacked by an octopus. Pretty good old coincidence. But that is exactly what happened. That's what I really call a coincidence, just for you, alright? In 1881, Mr. Inkster was in roughly 13 feet of water at the Kingston Jetty in Australia when an octopus attacked him. Fortunately, he had a spear with him because sharks' attacks were also common over there. He ran the spear through the octopus, but was unable to pull the spear back out again because the tentacles held fast to it. Well, guess what? Inkster managed to escape. And guess what, guys? Inkster escaped and returned to the surface of the water. He grabbed a crowbar and went down into the water again, this time finishing off the octopus. Now, the octopus was brought up and measured 10 feet between the extremities of its feelers. Number 9. Brother to the rescue. In 1928, a 14-year-old girl and her 22-year-old brother went for a swim at Stanley Bay Beach in New Zealand. The tide was out, so she and her brother began to wade far out into the water. When the girl thought she stepped on a branch, the branch rose up and grabbed her legs. It was an octopus. It pulled the girl under the water, and the girl, struggling, managed to scream out for her brother to help her. Now, her brother rushed through the water just as she was being pulled under again. A cloud of black ink filled the water, and the tentacle reached up and grabbed the brother's thigh. The young man escaped from the tentacle and grabbed hold of his sister. A tug-of-war ensued, and soon the young man had freed his sister from the deadly tentacles. The octopus escaped with his life, but was noted that it was probably a small octopus and that the young man had stated that the one tentacle apparently this thing doesn't even work correctly. Oh great, it is froze my computer. Anyway, they stated that the one tentacle was just about 4 feet in length. So, anyway, just managed to get that. Alright, number 8. A not-so-loving embrace. Just think about it. A diver was working to help remove an underwater wreck off the coast of New Zealand in 1891 when an octopus wrapped its arms around the man and began to squeeze him. The diver was able to signal the man on the surface to pull him up, which they did. The octopus was still wrapped around the man when his head broke through the surface of the water. Being near the boat ladder, the octopus reached out to it and pinned the driver, crushing the air out of his lungs. The other man attacked the octopus and eventually killed it. Incredibly, this was the second time the diver had been attacked by an octopus. Interesting. Number 7. Baby food. Now, thinking it would be safe, the parents of a 12-month-old baby placed their child about 6 inches of water at the Spit, Australia, in 1919. Now, as the baby played about in the water, an octopus approached. Fortunately, the parents returned at this point. It lifted the baby out of the water before any serious damage could be done to the child. The attacked octopus only had a 3-foot span, but was large enough to pull the child under the water. So that could have been some serious damage averted. Number 6. Use what you've got. Now, imagine being in the water, being grabbed by something, and everyone in view being too frightened to lend you a hand. This is what happened to James Anton in 1954, California. The large man, weighing 265 pounds, was in the deep water when something grabbed his arm. He began to spin around, but then other tentacles reached out and grabbed hold of him. Anton tried to rip the tentacles off of him, but it was proved to be impossible. He should probably have a butcher knife on hand. I don't know. His only option was to grab the head of the octopus and head back to shore with the whole octopus. People witnessed a strange sight, but every one of them was too scared to help Anton out. Upon reaching the rock, Anton beat the creature's head against the rock until it let him go. The octopus weighed 40 pounds and its tentacles were 5 feet long. Interesting. Number 5. Pulled down into a hole. Gordon Hastel was fishing one night in 1952 off the coast of Pepin Island when his line got stuck. In an attempt to free the line, he jumped into the waist-deep water. He began to follow the line until something grabbed hold of him. Alright. Now, what I'm about to say may probably shock some people. Alright, just remember that. He was... Oh, and by the way, grab hold of his ankle, I really should say. Anyway, this next part will scare some children out there. He was pulled under the water into a very deep hole. To make matters even worse, a black inky cloud filled the water. Hasty struggled against the octopus and managed to pull out his knife. He slashed at the tentacles and thought it was best as he could until he lost his hold on them. He swam to the surface, no doubt glad to be alive, and saw that he had lost a small portion of his finger due to the beak of the octopus. Number 4. Keep hands out of the darn tank. This is a lesson learned, alright? So, if I was you, you can keep your, hands on the octopus tank. It's just, whatever was said. Don't do it on a giant octopus tank. Just do it on a small one. Alright. The local fishermen of Le Lavandou in France caught a large octopus. And guess what? They decided to give the vacationers a thrill. The octopus was put into a large tank and was exhibited to the people in public. Well, crowds gathered around the tank to see the octopus, and a boy, a mere 5 years old, put his hand onto the tank. The octopus wrapped a tentacle around the boy's wrist. It began to pull him into the water. The mother's boy fainted, and woman screamed. Alright. According to the 1932 newspaper account, fishermen tried to pull the tentacle off the boy's wrist without effect. A young man with a knife in hand slashed out the tentacle, and finally the boy was released. The boy lived, but we can only assume that the octopus eventually died in the confines of the display tank. Interesting. Number 3. Did not like the new gear. Alright. Charlie Edwards made his first diving suit when he was just only 15 years old. He went on to design several more diving suits in the hopes of creating a suit with profitable commercial applications. In 1938, however. Alright, in 1938. Just want to let you know. That was, approximately 79 years ago. Alright, just, you do have to remember that. Okay, so, in 1938, he went into the water wearing his newest design. This lightweight suit was topped with a copper helmet. Extra weight could be strapped around the waist, and the special sandals he designed that had lead weights inside of them. As he walked along the bottom of the water, he frightened an octopus. It reacted by coiling itself around the copper helmet, obstructing Edward's view. To top it off, an electric ray stung his foot, and he had lost his lead sandal in the harbor. Edward survived the ordeal, and then came out of the water with the octopus still wrapped around his helmet. I'm not sure how he's going to get that off now. Number 2. Women battle octopus. It's no wonder that women can easily defeat an octopus, only if they had a knife. But in fistfight, they can't. Just remember. Alright, never go around octopuses. Even if people are afraid of octopuses, they should. So, anyway, that's a lesson learned, I guess. But really, it's just me. Alright, anyway, let's go into the story here. Oh, yeah, I do have a very, very slow computer, so please, don't expect this to take forever. Okay, alright. Mrs. Tattersall Dudd undoubtedly never forgot what happened to her at Parading Beach, France, in 1922. She and 3 of her friends walked around the shore to a rocky cove. Her friends waited close to the shore, but Mrs. Tattersall decided to go even further into the water until someone reached out and grabbed one of her legs. She tried to pull her leg out of the grip, but more tentacles reached up and held both of her legs above the knees. And guess what? The woman hollered to her friends, and one came down rushing to her with a walking stick. The weapon holder peered down into the water and saw the large head of the octopus. With that, their friend nailed the octopus right in the head with her walking stick over and over again until it let poor Mrs. Tattersall go. A party later returned to the spot and killed the octopus. It measured 5 feet and 4 inches from one tentacle to the other. Alright, finally, we go into number 1 with It Grabbed Hold of the Mast. Now, this is gotta be one of the most incredible octopus stories on this list. While in his boat off of St. Brule, Jersey in 1922, a fisherman got quite a scare. A tentacle reached up out of the water and circled the mast of his fishing boat. Then another tentacle came up and grabbed the fisherman's leg. The boat tilted and threatened to turn over, but the fisherman got hold of his senses just in time. He drew his knife and began stabbing the tentacle that was holding him. Another fisherman saw what was happening and quickly came to the rescue. He beat the tentacle that he was holding the mast until the boat was free and clear. There are many old reports of fishermen going missing, and some fishermen believe that many of the missing were taken by the octopuses themselves. Alright guys, if you have any other crazy octopus attacks that you had experienced in your life, just let me know in the comments down below. Alright, comment box down below. Alright, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and see you guys next time in another awesome video. Take care.